Hello and thank you for tuning in to Millennium Movies. Let's get right into today's video, which is the best Shudder originals you can find on the Shudder app for your Halloween binge this year. Number 1, Summer of '84. This film tells the story of teenager Davy Armstrong, a conspiracy theorist who begins to suspect that a neighbor/police officer is a serial killer. And with help from 3 friends, Davy launches a daring investigation that soon turns dangerous. Now, this film comes with all the 80s tropes that we've come to know over the years, from small town America to kids riding on their bikes, and basically a group of young friends trying to solve some sort of local mystery. It honestly plays like a classic Stephen King short story like Stand By Me, with some Stranger Things vibes thrown in for good measure. The kid actors all do a pretty good job. Horror fans will probably recognize Judah Lewis from the Netflix Babysitter movies, and most of them are given at least some sort of backstory, enough to make you care about their characters and have you rooting for them to survive by the end of the film. But the film's biggest selling point is its ending. It offers a unique twist on the genre that I didn't see coming, which leads to a healthy balance of both familiarity and freshness, which bumps this movie up from, just serviceable to a solid B movie, and a recommendation from me. Number 2, Host. Here, 6 friends accidentally invite the attention of a demonic presence during an online seance and quickly begin noticing strange occurrences in their homes. This reminded me a lot of the 2014 film Unfriended, only I thought this film was far superior. It's got a runtime that makes it feel more like an installment episode of an anthology series, and I think that plays in its favor because nothing gets dragged on. There's no fat in this story, it's all juicy steak. I liked the cast, the characters were decent. The scares were nothing that we haven't seen before, but they were effective scares. And that's all you can really ask for from this kind of story. Another thing that made this particular concept stand out was the fact that filming and post-production all took place during this year's quarantine, and the story itself is set during this pandemic. So that's why these friends are all having to speak to each other over Zoom rather than being in person. And there's even a point where a character has to leave their home, so they put on their mask, obviously, to protect themselves from COVID-19. So, overall, it's a short and sweet film that I think horror fans and even casual fans will be into. Number 3, Creepshow. This is a horror anthology series based on the 1982 movie, and it features vignettes that explore everything from terror, murder, the supernatural, and even the unexplainable. With this series, every episode contains 2 isolated tales, so you're really getting a variety of stories, and none of it ends up feeling like it's just repeating. Every episode feels pretty fresh from the previous one, and right now I'm about halfway done with the first season, and so far my favorite tale still has to be the very first episode that had Tobin Bell and Giancarlo Esposito. It just really felt like a scary story to tell in the dark chapter come to life and done right. This series is also helmed by an accomplished makeup FX artist, Greg Nicotero, who's well known for his work on stellar prosthetics in like The Walking Dead and working with George A. Romero. And just a lot of monsters in this series look sweet, if I'm being honest. So if you're into practical effects and just small nuggets of horror goodness, then this is definitely a show you want to check out. And it finally actually got renewed for a second season. So if you like Creepshow, you have a lot more Creepshow to look forward to in the near future. Now, since today is all about horror content you can consume, I wanted to end this video by saying I will be having a week of horror havoc on the channel leading up to Halloween itself. So first, there will be 2 film studies / video essays, one on the 1997 film Anaconda, and the other on Netflix's Stranger Things, which I'm still trying to get to. That's just going to be a lot of work on that video. But then on Halloween Day, I will be posting my own original horror short film that you guys can consume yourselves. So stay tuned to the channel all week on Halloween. But until next time, this has been Millennium Movies, and I will see you all very soon.